to the Watkin Path to Recce for the ROC 2026. I have Mr. Jen with me. I have been up before, did the ROC in 2021. I'd never been up Snowdon, so annoyingly we live really close by, and I never actually got up there till race day. And that was one of my biggest regrets with that race, was not getting up there before race day. Mainly because everybody had told me to, it's dangerous up there, the weather can change and people die up there. And yes, it's all true. The weather can change really quickly. There are accidents. There's normally over like 300 call outs each year to mine rescue, but then 600,000 people tend to-ish go up each year as well. And most of those are completely uneventful, other than, pretty views and YouTube videos. So when I went up, it was more of a case of I probably overestimated it. And when you're cycling to Snowdon, you need to have an idea of what you're up against for psychological readiness, but also so you can gauge effort. I did a lot of holding back in the bike because I just really did not know what to expect for the run. And when I turned up to Snowdon, I literally just hiked the whole thing. I ran a few little bits that were sort of flatter on the way up. I did run down it. So that's where I sort of picked up my pace, was I was running down the hill, down the mountain. Don't shout at me. At the end, I was last through the checkpoint, and I had a little guardian angel waiting for me on the other side. So you do get a tail walker. So benefit of being the last one through the cutoff, you do have your own personal guide up there through that tough section to the top. So I'm hoping to film that because people have said, oh, it's so dangerous, how did you do that? And I don't remember it being that bad. So today is one of those. Maybe I blocked everything out from the trauma, but I'm hoping to show it's not actually that bad. And and hopefully if I can remind myself it's not that bad, I can be a bit more confident about coming up here, ideally on my own, because trying to come out and run it with somebody else is challenging, because one, you've got to align diaries, so babysitters, and two, we all want to run and walk at our own pace. So hopefully this will help ease any nerves. I do recommend recceing it if you can. Get over here and just go up it at least once. So the next time you see me, I should have hopefully found a parking space at the start of the Watkin Path, or the bit that we're going to be doing anyway, because the actual start is slightly different on race day. We've arrived. We managed to park in a nice little quiet lay-by, which I believe we are allowed to park. I can't see any signs saying we can't, and we're actually right by the start of the actual Watkin Path. The ROC actually starts a little bit further round. Transition is there. I will show you anyway, so I'll film that in a bit when we get walking. Hello, stalker. So on the day, if I remember correctly, you come off the main road and cycle this way. Now, this path is the official start to the Watkin Path, but I'm going to actually head over here, which is where transition area is. So I'm going to head over there and cut through. So if I remember correctly, it's pretty much transitions like literally at that farm. So if you come up here to Recce, just bear in mind you probably won't have a signal on your phone. I can't find exactly where I remember the path starting, the transition being. It didn't feel like the proper trail, like, you were taking a bit of a weird shortcut. So I will I'll either add a short video, drop one in here, or I'll just put a link to the Strava. Here might be the Strava, here might not be the Strava, to show you sort of where the starting point is. So if you want to check my Strava from 2021, it will show you the transition area where the actual path starts, so you can sort of plan your recce ahead of that. Okay, so we've just gone under the trees a bit, followed round past a map that I don't remember. I don't remember any of that. I remember this. So, actually here it is. I think, based on, you could be completely wrong based on Strava, this is the path that we come up and down at the ROC, I think.
I think we would go up and down that one, but that leads to the campsite. That's kind of, it's not cordoned off, but there's gates and I feel like a trespasser. I'm not really a rebellious person. So we've just been up this one. So from there, this is where the rock is. Welcome to the rock. It could be a hot day, like today. I did run out of water on the way down. They do give you lots of like water and stuff at the aid station down at the bottom, but you also expect it to be fully self-sufficient on the rock. I'm aware we have a cow. Yeah, so I did scav a bottle of water from the checkpoint. Hello, Mr. Cow, or Mrs. Cow. It's got udders. Hello, Mrs. Cow. Where the hell am I going? Which of these peaks is Snowdon? You can't see it yet, so don't be looking around thinking, is it that one, is it that one? You can't see it yet, it is round the corner. When you can see it, I will show you it. So this little bridge is where one of the photographers was hanging out last time. Get some cracking shots over here. So, yeah, do the jump, do the journey jump. So just so you know, the summit is behind that big rock, big mountain. There she is. So go up here, round and up to there. Don't remember this bit too much, but what I do remember is a lot of runners coming down past me along these bits, and something to bear in mind is if you're not expecting to be at the front, you do have to give way to the runners coming down, so it can mean having to choose slightly awkward bits of trail or path to accommodate whatever they're choosing to do. Jappa Jen strikes again. This is my rock. This is where I sat when I had an absolute meltdown thinking I couldn't do this, and I think I even shouted, why did I think I could do this, in front of two hikers. They did not approach. So it's just literally around the corner to the checkpoint, but I had been told by one of the runners that were coming down, it's only around the corner, and I kind of got to this corner and couldn't see the checkpoint and literally had a paddy. So well, you know what, didn't even notice that beautiful view, so you can actually see the sea. So I'm guessing that is probably Harlock and Barmouth over there, and then Habersock is actually back sort of over that way. So this is like after the checkpoint, so I did have my guide, so I can't remember the name, but I did write it down, so I'll pop it on the screen when I get back home and remind myself. But it can be quite easy to go off track on this bit. So when you're on race day, I found like there was quite a few people choosing different lines. You shouldn't have to backtrack too much. There was one bit where around by the checkpoint, actually I went wrong and ended up standing in a muddy bog. Cut across and found the trail again, and it's easy done. That's the main trail that you can see going up. That's where we're going. So if I remember correctly, that sort of island bit is a bit of a tricky one to navigate. I'll film it when I get to it. So you kind of get to this bit and you think you've got to go up there. Actually, if you just walk to the side, this is the way to go. Come on, get out, you lazy bum. So this bit's a bit bouldery. It's all perfectly doable. Runnable, I don't know, but you know. Not for on race day, but you can actually, near to where that Watkins sign is, you can peek over. So you've got minus track there coming up. So I think this is where the accountant's been scramble up. Does kick up pretty steep. The wind's kicked up as well, which doesn't help. Final bit now. So this is basically the turnaround point somewhere here. There's normally a mat and they ask you to go around the flag so you get your chip timed. So you don't actually get to see the sundial thing. So we did it.
We did.
Just getting a sandwich and having a sit down before we head back down. Got to the very top and we're queuing. The queue wasn't that bad actually to get the video fit photo at the top, and to be honest, the wind picked up so much whilst we were queuing. We were only about 2-3 groups away, and I thought I don't like it, so we came back down without the picture, but never mind. So grab a sandwich. It was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. A few bits were a bit hairy.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
So I won't be doing too much filming along down here because it's not best underfoot in places, and trying to look where you're going and film is not very sensible view. So it got a little bit hairy sort of up there coming up. There was a couple of people and they were kind of stuck on a boulder. They weren't sure which way to go, and I seen a little trail kind of going off to the side, so I said why don't we retrace and go that way, thinking that was maybe the right way to go. I don't think it was. I think we should have stuck with the boulder. So we ended up climbing, like you felt proper mountain climbing on all fours at some point. Wasn't the best bit, but and I started to get like a little bit worried. But then at the same time, it's like, actually, I have done worse than that in Llangollen when I've been with the run club and we've been kind of climbing up and down waterfalls, you know, so it does help to kind of be used to that sort of terrain. I didn't go wrong though when I went with the ROC, but then I did have the guide. I do remember kind of a couple of big boulders we had to climb up. So hopefully when we come down now, we will get to those boulders and I'll realise where we went wrong. But it wasn't dangerous or anything, but it was a little bit out of my comfort zone, to say the least. Alright, final clip now. So I didn't get much footage on the way down. Just, you know, you kind of got to watch your feet. I walked pretty much all of it, or, you know, like fast walked it. Yeah, so I'm going to do a bit of a video on like sort of top tips for Snowdon, especially if you don't live here. You know, like it's all well good me saying, oh, you need to go up and Recce as much as you can. You know, if you live like in London or something, that's not really going to be feasible and realistic. So yeah, so just, and I'll be doing some strength and mobility stuff. So what kind of moves would be really worth incorporating in the gym to help you with the elevation, the up and the down, because the down is, especially at the start, there's a lot of sort of, you're gonna need to have your hips and your knees in tip-top condition, and your ankles really, but I'll do you a load of videos on different moves that will really help, that you can integrate into your training. Glad I've been up today. The the weather's been pretty much the same it was when I did it last time, so I do need to come up when it's not as pretty. And you know, if you know the route, or you know the sort of the best way up and the best way down, you know, you're gonna shave minutes off your time on the run. Let's be honest. You know, and the way down or the way up is going to be different for each of us, because you know, we all have different sort of technique, different strengths. So it's knowing what's going to sort of work best for you. But you know, there's no guarantee the weather's going to be like this on the day. It could well be misty, foggy. You might not be able to see 3 foot in front of you. You know, we just don't know. And that's not going to really be a given until 24 hours before. Yeah, so that is Recce complete. I hope it's been helpful. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. 80% of the people watching this won't have subscribed. It does help my channel to grow and get to more people. And you know, the ROC is an awesome event, so it needs a good crop of videos and following and everything else. So enjoy your weekends or your week or whatever you're up to. I'll see you in the next one. Crack on. I lied, it wasn't the final clip. I found the moo cows on the way down. Moo cows! Hello, friends!